Have you ever looked at a Pokemon and been like, you know what? That right there would have made a great star Pokemon. Well, you're not alone. In fact, there's a bunch of people out there that have had this exact same thought, and that's because there's so many Pokemon out there that would have made exceptional starter Pokemon. So with that being said, in today's video we're going to go over the top 10 Pokemon that should have been starter Pokemon. Now I'm not going to stick to the whole fire, water and grass rule here because there's only so many Pokemon that would have fit that. I'm going to use all the different typings, and not all of these Pokemon are 3-stage evolutions as well. There's some 2-stage in there as well. This also is in no particular order as well. It's just 10 Pokemon that would make great starters. So be sure to leave a like down below if you're excited for this video, and make sure to subscribe as well because I do daily Pokemon content on this channel and daily live streams as well. Who doesn't like that? Without further ado though, let's get into the video and take a look at the top 10 Pokemon that should have started your journey with you. So starting things off, we have Shinx. Shinx is a Pokemon that is loved by so many different people, and it's just because it's an incredibly good electric type Pokemon that you get very early on. A lot of the Pokemon on this list you do get early on, which is why they would make good starter Pokemon, because they always seem to be on your team at the very start, and Shinx is no stranger to that. At the very start of Generation 4, this Pokemon is a very reliable option on your team. It's obviously got a 3-stage evolution, being into Shinx, into Luxio, into Luxray, and also, Luxray should have also got a Mega Evolution, let's just be honest. It should have also been an Electric Dark type as well, because we don't have one of those yet. But at the end of the day, Shinx is just a really good choice for a starter Pokemon, and I do believe it's even a starter in a lot of different ROM hacks and fan games as well, just because people love it that much. It's a very loved Pokemon, would have been a great starter Pokemon, and that is why it had to be in today's video in the list. Next up, we have everybody's favorite early game Pokemon in Generation 3, Ralts. Ralts is a Pokemon that pretty much everyone had to get at the start. When I played Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald, Ralts was quite difficult to find because it had a low encounter rate. But not only that, when you finally catch it, it only had Growl, so you had to get up a couple of levels before it could even do any damaging attacks, learning Confusion, I do believe level 6. But then of course you had to get up into a Curlier at level 20, and then a Gardevoir at I do believe level 30, and that was awesome. And then Gallade broke into the scene in Generation 4, being another evolution of Ralts, being the male evolution if you gave Curlier a Dawnstone, which was awesome. We got a Psychic Fighting type Pokemon in Gallade, and then a Fairy Psychic type Pokemon in Gardevoir. Everything was good. These Pokemon also get Mega Evolutions as well. And not only that, having a starter Pokemon with a branched evolution line is something that I can't believe hasn't been done yet, because it would be such a cool idea. And if they really went up and beyond in Generation 8, they could have each of the 3 starter Pokemon having a branched evolution line depending on the gender. That would be really cool in my opinion. But Ralts would be an insanely good starter Pokemon. It's not the strongest out there, and it doesn't evolve at level 16 like most. It evolves at level 20, which is still pretty early. But at the end of the day, this is still a really cool starter Pokemon in my opinion, and I would have loved to see Ralts as a starter Pokemon. Next up, we have Sandile, the ground type Pokemon. Not exactly something you find early on, but Sandile is still a really cool Pokemon to me. It has an awesome design. It's obviously its 3-stage evolution, being Sandile, Rockruff, and then Crocodile. All really cool Pokemon. It's got an awesome typing, Crocodile does. It has incredible abilities. It's got awesome sets. Its stats are really cool. It's just a really cool Pokemon, and I would have loved to see this as a starters. Like I say, we're used to just seeing fire, grass, and water, which is awesome, but having these different typings make an appearance as maybe a potential starter in a future game would be really cool. It's probably never going to happen, but like I say, this is just a video going over Pokemon that should have been a starter that a lot of people do love and would have loved to have started their journey with. But Sandile is definitely a really cool Pokemon in my opinion, which is why it's in today's video. Coming up next, we have a Pokemon that I'm pretty sure you cannot disagree with me. It is Mareep, the electric type Pokemon we find early on in Gold and Silver. Of course, if you get Crystal, you cry every time because Mareep is not available in Crystal, but in Gold and Silver, that's what we're talking about. Mareep is a really solid option to get early on in the game. Once you beat the first gym, you literally go down, you're like, hey, I'm looking for a good Pokemon on my team. There comes a fluffy sheep, you're like, I'm all about that. You catch it, turns into Fluffy, turns into Ampharos, just a solid mon at the end of the day. Really cool Pokemon, would make an exceptional starter Pokemon, and everyone would love to have just picked this at the start. I mean, it's just such a cool little Pokemon. Electric type Pokemon should have had more of an option to be a starter Pokemon. Obviously we had Pikachu in yellow, but to be fair, Mareep and Shinx would have made great starter Pokemon, which is why Mareep is in today's video. Next up, we have Oddish, the first Pokemon that actually follows the grass, fire, water starter Pokemon thing. But Oddish is a Pokemon that you probably liked. Why would that be a starter Pokemon? Nobody likes Oddish. Well, not many people do, to be fair. And obviously, if Oddish was a star Pokemon, what happens to Bellsprout? Because they're kind of counterparts. But to be fair, Oddish is a really cool Pokemon because just like Ralts, actually gets a branched evolution line. So maybe if Ralts became a star Pokemon, why not Oddish as well? Because obviously Ralts would be good against Oddish. Makes sense to me, but of course Oddish evolves into Gloom, and then of course evolves into Vileplume with use of a Leaf Stone, and then Blossom with the use of a Sunstone. So it is actually the only Pokemon that can evolve into different Pokemon with the use of stones, apart from obviously Eevee. But of course, really cool Pokemon anyway, because branched evolution lines, like I say, should have been put into Pokemon a long time ago, and I would still love to see it. And Oddish is a really cool Pokemon for that. Yes, the stone evolution could be annoying, but at the end of the day, stones aren't that difficult to get, especially Leaf Stones anyway. Sunstone's a little bit more difficult, but to be fair, I would still love to see Oddish as a starter Pokemon. It would have been really cool. Next up, we kind of have a dual thing, because you can't have one without the other, and that is the Nidoran pair. Nidoran male and Nidoran female. Two Pokemon that, of course, are very alike, but also very different. Both evolving at level 16 into Nidorino and Nidorina, and then, of course, both evolving with use of a Moonstone. So another stone evolution for both of these, but having either one as a starter Pokemon, or maybe there's 4 choices as a starter, and then you can choose one of the Nidorans, would be really cool. I always got a Nidoran male at the start of Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Pokemon Red and Blue. I always did it. It always was a staple on my team. Got a Nidorino, because then you just get to Mount Moon and you get a Moonstone straight away. So it's a very easy Pokemon to get. You can have a level 16 Nidoking in like these games, which is insane, because yes, it doesn't learn many moves, but you got a Nidoking, which is awesome. But big fan of Nidoking. I think it's a really cool Pokemon. A Nidoran male is something you get at the very start as well. Just a really cool start Pokemon in my opinion. Just love these dudes and dudettes. Coming up next, we have Togepi. Now this is definitely up for a bit of debate, because it's technically a baby Pokemon, and baby Pokemon are seen to be a little bit less powerful than normal Pokemon. So if you did start with Togepi, maybe not as strong. But of course, in the past previous games, such as Yellow, Pikachu obviously was a bit more of an overpowered Pikachu, just because you couldn't evolve it and stuff. I'm not saying you wouldn't be able to evolve Togepi. I feel like you definitely should be able to, because Togepi isn't all that, to be fair. But Togepi, of course, evolves into Togetic with high friendship, and then when exposed to a shiny stone, evolves into Togekiss. A really good evolution line, really good typing, really cool abilities on these Pokemon, incredible moveset, really good stats. This evolution line is just really, really awesome. And having the Togepi as a starter Pokemon could definitely force like a baby Pokemon game where all of the 3 starter Pokemon were baby Pokemon. Maybe Togepi, Magby, and Smoochum, or Elekid, or Badoo, or anything like that. But some baby Pokemon as the starters would be really cool. I'm not sure if that's been done in a fan game or a ROM hack. Probably has, because it's a really cool idea. But to be fair, I would love to see Togepi as a starter Pokemon, because I think the whole evolution line is incredible. Yes, you may have to usually hatch Togepi from an egg and blah, 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 blah. But maybe all the starter Pokemon you have to hatch from an egg. Maybe that's kind of like the gimmick of that game. Still would be really cool, but I would love to see Togepi as a starter Pokemon. Next up, we have something that isn't necessarily a 3-stage evolution, but still something that definitely should be a starter Pokemon just because of how cool it is, and that is Rockruff, a brand new Pokemon released in Generation 7, obviously getting 2 forms, being the midday form and the midnight form, which is awesome, of course. And then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came around, and we got the Dusk form as well. This Pokemon has a total of 3 different branched evolutions, which is really, really cool, because they're all so cool, and having a starter Pokemon that can evolve into 3 different mons would be terrific in my opinion. It'd be so cool to see. And Rockruff just screams starter Pokemon. It just looks like a starter Pokemon. It's awesome. It's super friendly. You get it early on in the games. It's just a really cool Pokemon. I would love to have seen it as a starter in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Next up, we have another Pokemon that isn't a 3-stage line, but is still a really cool Pokemon, and that is Zorua. Zorua, again, just like Rockruff, looks like a starter Pokemon. It just looks like it. It's such a cool little Pokemon. It's super cute. A lot of people love the design of it. And then, of course, it evolves into Zoroark, a very unique Pokemon, having a unique ability, unique things about it. Everybody knows about Zoroark, so having that as a starter would be really cool. Maybe there's a game where you can only have the starter Pokemon evolve once, and that could be Rockruff and Zorua, and the one we're going to go into after this. But Zorua would be a really cool starter Pokemon. I'd love to see it at some point. It probably already is in a fan game or a ROM hack, but I would love to see Zorua as a starter Pokemon in any game. Finishing things off though, as the last Pokemon that should have been made as a starter in the Pokemon games is Riolu, another Pokemon with only a 2-stage evolution line. And yes, this is a baby Pokemon like Togepi, but Riolu is of course much better than Togepi. Riolu of course evolves into Lucario with max friendship. Lucario is an incredible Pokemon. But again, just like I said with Rockruff and Zorua, maybe we have a starter Pokemon game in the future where you can only evolve them all once. I think that'd still be cool. We had that in Uranium and they all got Mega Evolutions as kind of like acting as as the 3rd stage, which was really cool to see, and I was a big fan of that. But Riolu is just a Pokemon that I'm pretty sure has been a ROM hack or a fan game or whatever, but it's just a really cool Pokemon. It again just screams star Pokemon, which is why I do believe it should have been a star Pokemon at some point throughout the games. But that wraps up today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you did enjoy, please remember to drop a like down below. It really does help out a lot more than you think, and it only takes like half a second of your time, which is no time at all, to be fair. Be sure to leave a comment as well with Pokemon that you would have loved to have seen as a starter, and make sure to subscribe as well. I do daily Pokemon videos on this channel and daily live streams as well. Got a couple other videos coming onto your screen in a second. Be sure to give them a watch if you do have the time. But that is everything from me though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you all. Thank you again. Stay safe, and until next time, peace.